Let's have a look at some recent Chinese propaganda that are trying to convince us that they have some Chinese astronauts in space in a real suborbital environment. So first of all, I'll show you the video. Let's have a look. To start with, keep an eye on the astronauts' sleeves, right? In zero G, you wouldn't have sleeves drifting naturally downwards towards gravity because you wouldn't have a point of gravity for them to drift towards. Obviously, if you're in a space station and you're spinning round randomly in space and there's no gravity, your sleeves would be stiffened in whatever, the opposite direction of where you had moved to. So as he was moving around, his hand would be inside the sleeve going to the bottom, and then the gap for the sleeve would go to the top. But that's not what we see. As he lights the match here using the friction pad on the little container, the orange container, you can see when he strikes the match, smoke comes off the flame and travels upwards and doesn't disperse all over the ship, suggesting that they are in a normal pressured Earth environment. So not only that, you wouldn't necessarily want to light a flame and have smoke inside a recycled air cabin in space, because you then have to rebreathe that air over and over, and you would choke. That CO2 would cause you to cough and choke, and the air would become useless. Finally, we see that the wax at the top of the candle that's been melted is finding its natural level on top of the candle. It's not blobbing off and floating off across the cabin as you would expect if this was truly a zero-G environment. So we can tell that it is fake. They've not done a bad job though. This is the real International Space Station background. As you can see, everything is tacked or tied down in the background, and the lady's hair is free flowing everywhere because there is no gravity. Whereas going back to the fake Chinese astronaut clip, you can see there is definitely gravity. The way that the candle is behaving, the way that the astronaut sleeves are behaving, and the way that the corduroy pull tabs on those orange things on the wall in the background are all behaving as you would expect in normal gravity. And then in addition to that, the thumb on the side of the black screen that the guy is holding up, if there's no gravity, you wouldn't need to be holding that screen up, and when he let go of it just then, with his thumb came off it, it wouldn't have slipped down, and he wouldn't have quickly needed to reapply tension with his thumb in order to stop it falling down out of shot. So in conclusion, the evidence is clear. The candle has a drip of wax solidified on the right side going down towards gravity. The candle flame is going up in accordance with it being lighter than air, which is what would happen in a gravitational environment. The little plastic candle holder thing that you can see at the bottom of the screen that he's holding up with his hand, as soon as he lets go of that, you can see it does drift down towards where the gravity is, and he has to quickly reposition his hand in order to make sure that it doesn't ruin the shot, because he knows that there is gravity there and he's not really in space. So this is an entire 100% propaganda fake piece of film footage. See, it's a shame they don't recognise that us Westerners, we have good education. We know an HVAC system that you would need to breathe air inside of a real space capsule would create a draft as it tried to draw the CO2 away and refill it with real oxygen. Which, unfortunately for these fake Chinese astronauts, is not what we see. What we see is the wax finding its own level in the crevice at the top of the melted candle. You see what it's doing there? It's not dripping out, it's not flying out with the zero G, it's sat nicely in the little burnt away cavity of the candle, sat as you'd expect it to be, held in place by gravity. The flame and the smoke they're behaving exactly as you would expect in a gravitational environment, and the screen of plastic that the astronaut guy is holding up is only held there by his hand, which suggests that if he lets go of it, like the piece of plastic you can see there just did, if he lets go of it, it will drop down towards where the gravity is. And as you can see, he's just moved his hand to catch it so that it didn't fall down and ruin the shot. And the plastic screen is being held up by the tension of his thumb. You can see his thumb on the right hand side there. And you can see the flame, the candle, the sleeves and the pipes and stuff on the background behaving exactly as you would expect in a regular zero or a regular normal gravitational environment, not a zero G environment. So, we've seen all we need to see here. All the evidence is right in front of your face. You can see that there's definitely gravity in this pressurized container, which is, as I said, probably underwater somewhere on Earth, trying to simulate what low gravity might be like for these fake Chinese astronauts. But you've got to ask yourself this: why are the Chinese communists so eager to try and trick their own people into thinking that they have technology equal to that of the American military and the space program? Why would they be trying to trick them now to think that they can rival American military technology with these poor quality videos that anyone with a Western education can immediately see are 100% fake? Anyway, as you can see, that's fake. That's definitely not in space. And what I would say to you, if you want to see real orbital conditions in a real space station, you can go and look for any NASA videos or some recent SpaceX stuff. Even though they haven't got humans up there, they've at least got things in space that you can look at, and you can see the effects of things in a zero-G environment. Flames, sleeves, and smoke coming off flames, bits of wax, definitely don't behave the same as they do on Earth. Like you saw in that video there, they just acted absolutely normal. So be on the lookout for this Chinese propaganda. Realise and keep in mind the communists want to mislead you the same as they want to mislead their own people. Any means justify the ends, and for a Chinese communist the ends is controlling your mind, so you do exactly what they want you to do and you pose no threat to their dominance in future. It's mind slavery. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Just makes you wonder, doesn't it? If they can fake space so poorly and expect us to believe it, what other things are the Chinese Communist Party saying in the media which are absolutely 100% not real? Anyway, that's all for today. See you next time. Bye now. Bye bye.